Life doesn't send warnings before it breaks you. For Maya Carter, life started breaking her long before she understood what breaking even meant. She was born in a narrow, dim apartment on the wrong side of a city that barely noticed people like her. The walls were stained with age, the heater barely worked, and every winter felt longer than the last. Her mother, Linda, worked endless hours at a roadside diner, coming home late with tired eyes and aching hands. Her father disappeared before Maya turned 3, leaving behind nothing but unanswered questions and silence. From childhood, Maya learned a harsh truth. Some people are born with opportunities, others are born with excuses the world never accepts. Still, her mother tried to shield her from reality. Every night, no matter how exhausted she was, Linda would sit beside Maya and say, "Baby, life's tough, but you don't let it turn you cold. Promise me that." Maya always nodded. She didn't know how heavy that promise would become. School wasn't a place of learning for Maya, it was a place of comparison. Other kids had new backpacks, clean shoes, lunch boxes filled with food. Maya had hand-me-down clothes and an empty stomach most days. Teachers noticed her silence, but never asked why. Classmates noticed everything else. "Why do you always wear the same jacket? Does your mom even buy groceries?" The laughter followed her through hallways like a shadow. Maya never fought back, not because she was weak, but because she was tired of explaining a life no one wanted to understand. After school, she didn't go home to rest. She worked, cleaning houses, helping at grocery stores, doing whatever paid a few dollars. By the time she reached home, it was dark, her legs sore, her head heavy. Yet she studied, not because she dreamed big, but because she feared staying stuck. When Maya was 17, life took its cruelest turn. Her mother collapsed during a late shift. By the time Maya reached the hospital, Linda was already gone. No goodbye, no last words, just a doctor's voice that sounded far away, saying things Maya couldn't process. The funeral was small. Too small, a few co-workers, no family, no comfort. That night, Maya sat alone on the cold floor of their apartment, surrounded by silence so loud it hurt. She stared at the ceiling and whispered, "So, this is it?" For the first time, quitting felt easy. No one would blame her, no one was watching. But then she remembered her mother's voice. "Don't let life turn you cold." The next morning, Maya stood up. She dropped out of school, not because she gave up, but because survival didn't wait for diplomas. She worked 3 jobs, morning shifts cleaning offices, afternoon waitressing, night shifts at a warehouse packing boxes until her hands burned. Sleep became optional. Pain became normal. Some nights she cried in the bathroom so no one could hear. Other nights she stared at her reflection and barely recognized herself. Then one exhausted night, scrolling through her cracked phone, she saw a post that almost felt like a joke. Free online tech skills program for underprivileged youth. Maya laughed out loud. Free? Yeah, right. But something made her click. The classes were online, at night, no fees. She hesitated for days, then signed up. At first, it felt impossible. The words didn't make sense. The lessons moved fast. She failed again and again. Some nights, she slammed her laptop shut, whispering, "This isn't for people like me." But she kept coming back. One lesson at a time, one mistake at a time, one exhausted night at a time. Months passed. Slowly, things changed. Not her life, but her confidence. She built her first tiny project. It was simple, broken in places, but it worked. Maya stared at the screen, tears running down her face. For the first time, she didn't feel invisible. She applied for internships with no degree, no experience, just honesty and effort. Most ignored her. One replied, an interview, then silence, then an email. "We'd like to offer you a position." Maya dropped her phone and cried. The job didn't make her rich. It barely paid the bills. But it paid something more important. Hope. Work wasn't easy. People judged her background. Some assumed she didn't belong. She worked harder than anyone, stayed later, learned faster. Failure still followed her, but it no longer scared her. Years passed. Maya moved into a small but clean apartment. Bought her first real bed, her first warm meal she didn't rush through. She wasn't famous, she wasn't wealthy, but she was free. One day she returned to her old neighborhood, same cracked streets, same struggling faces. She visited her old school and stood before students who looked just like she once did. She said softly, "I had nothing. No money, no support, no shortcuts. But I didn't quit." She started a free learning group, late nights, old laptops, big dreams, not because she owed the world anything, but because she remembered what it felt like to be forgotten. Maya never became a headline, but she became proof. Proof that pain doesn't decide your ending. Proof that beginnings don't define worth. Proof that even when life gives you nothing, you can still build everything. And sometimes that's more than enough.